God's work, not the hard work. We gotta go early today, man. Today I got people doing things to see. So yeah, we early. Trump issues emergency warning after Putin threatens the U.S. with World War III, WW3. You know what I'm saying? I've been covering this. I was going to talk about this last night because it's actually popping last night, but today, you know, still God's work. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on around here, right? Before we get into what's going on around the world, I would like y'all to know that The View, y'all know I don't like The View. That show, I hate that show. I don't like what they do. I think it's real let's move the goalpost type. You know what I'm saying? And then it just generally seems like these bitches just hate men. Let's keep it real, man. Unless you're a transvestite, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they hate men. There's a war on men. Huh? A war on men. Mercito, good morning. Kingsman, good morning. God's work. Former, the realist. Fredskis. Yeah, there's a war on men out here, man. You know, we can't be a manski anymore. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like you're gonna be targeted for being a dude. It's just sick. What did I just do? I think I messed up by mistake, sir. We call that friendly fire. My bad, Former. I'm bugged out. I was trying to put Murph's wrench on. Why, Murph? You ain't been over here in a second? Because Murph, yeah, I reset the wrenches like once a month. Murphcito. Add as moderator. Okay, listen. So yeah, these hoes at The View, you know, it's like they wear panties with the dick holes in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, also, I got a lot of rabbit hole. Happy Friday to y'all. Happy Friday to y'all. I got the rabbit hole shit going on. We got the worst gangs. I mean, I got a video about these people in El Salvador doing time. I thought Rikers Island was bad. That's not nearly as bad as that is. We got some depictions on what a world war would look like right now. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this content, man. You know, like I said, I had to go early today. Tonight, I might have to smoke on that Buckshot Shorty pack. You know what I mean? Buckshot apparently said he got jumped by a whole block of dudes. Come to find out, it was one dude. And they got a video of it. So that video, I heard that video's out there. And I seen a screenshot of that video. Ooh, it's looking crazy.
You can enjoy
YouTube illegals, salute. Canada deporting, Hungary deporting, Poland shooting, America inviting them in. Poland not just shooting. Poland is, if they can't get you with the gun, they'll fucking chop your head off in Poland. They got those people outside of the gates of Poland. They didn't travel so far. They get to the fucking border of Poland. And guess what these people do? They either kill them or hose them down because it's freezing. Man, this brick ass cold, man, up there. That shit colder than dead maggot coochie. And Poland. Yeah. Over there, they let them just die. And if they don't just die, they do some savage shit. If they don't just die, they give the citizens the right to knock them down. All right, let's get into this right here, man. Joe Rogan, he trolls The View after they called him a dragon believer. Basically, they try to shit on Joe Rogan and say that what you're talking about is fruitless. And what we're talking about, because ABC backs us up, is gold. All right, we're going rabbit hole early in the game today. All right, let's go.
Bahar from The View went
L'Oreal, Grand Rising, salute.
Ahead after she claimed the public watch The View because they tell the truth. Unlike Joe Rogan, who is a dragon.
The nerve of these whores. The nerve of these whores. Now, I'm gonna let y'all know something, right? And why I say the nerve of these whores. Wasn't Sherry Shepherd on The View? Miss Sherry Shepherd. Sherry Shepherd. I loved working with Sherri Shepherd. I was actually like, I used to go do stuff for her all day. One of the things I did for Sherri Shepherd in 2 years I worked for her was pick her up from the fucking View every morning. Oh man, I didn't know how she did it. I was like, yo, listen, man, this woman will be up 5 o'clock in the morning. She would get to the View like at 6:30 or something like that. All right. And then after that, by the time I picked Sherri up and take her to the other studio on 34th Street, which was where the Newlywed Game was being shot, because she was the host of the Newlywed Game. Oh, I used to hear some complaints when it comes down to the View. And although it was different people at that time, that was on the View, I mean, the same bullshit applies. It's television. It's scripted. How the fuck would you say is more sound than what I say just because you behind ABC? Come on, man. I mean, Puff Daddy was behind Meek Mills. Fuck do that mean? Huh? Your news ain't more legit than my news unless it comes with facts, okay?
Believer.
Yeah. But I think that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
we're checked by everybody.
Yeah. I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. Don't act funny when I start flashing pictures in front of y'all, okay? LL said, he, she. Why? He, she. It's just an ad lib, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's just something cool to say. He, she. Come to find out, it was really a he, she. Fucking transvestite. They news ain't more legit than our news.
The human legal. But we went from Walter Cronkite.
Mm-hmm.
Their news, okay?
Basically, to this guy Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes.
So what? A lot of people believe in dragons. You know what I'm saying?
He dragons. He believes in.
I mean, come on, man. Got Komodo dragons running all over the place. You know what I'm saying? On the beach. You ever see the documentaries with the Komodo dragons, man? The real dragons. You know what I'm saying? Oops, wrong picture. The real dragons. Oops, wrong picture. Komodo dragons. I believe in the Komodo dragons. Man, one of them shits will bite your cow's leg. That motherfucker will be running for days, like walking, like gone, like track them, man. A fucking Komodo dragon. They're real. You don't need to believe in that. God's word. That shit will track you down for weeks. A Komodo dragon. All of y'all just some dragons out here anyway.
Nigga, you gay.
Told you, rabbit hole early. All right. I'm here to entertain you motherfuckers. It's Friday. Let's go.
Dragon. Did you triple?
Allegedly. Double tap the screen, please. Let's get the lights up. Or go to the top right and hit the 3 dots. I'm about to have a crowd in here. All right. Allegedly, 30 Kenzo. She's a dragon face. Allegedly.
And yes, I did.
Fair use. No L'Oreal. Fair uses.
In response to the bizarre claim, Joe Rogan trolled the host.
Okay. Let me just go straight through with it. All right. I'm sorry. Double tap the screen, get the likes up, and share the video. All right. We about to hit this motherfucking Trump train in a second. All right. But I just want to show you why these broads need to be canceled, man.
If we're wrong, we have, the legal note here. The human legal. But we went from more.
She ain't legal enough. She had to issue that apology to my man Matt Gaetz, who has stepped down, by the way. Say trying to keep Trump clean. You know what I mean? Catch him later on. You feel me? That's a real American. And I like Matt Gaetz because he's not in the rush to go to war.
Walter Cronkite.
A lot of war talk, y'all. Let's go.
Basically, to this guy Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons. He believes in dragons.
Did you triple force that?
Yes, I did.
In response to the bizarre claim, Joe Rogan trolled the
believe in dragons. Man, I believe in domestic violence. Not that I agree with it.
host. Posting on X, this is
still believe in Santa Claus. Fuck y'all talking about?
my new official X description. with a link to the video. He then also changed his description to Dragon Believer.
The
internet went into meltdown about the hilarious interaction. This commentator said, "This clip is unhinged. Joy Behar is saying that Joe Rogan believes in dragons and you should listen to The View because they are truthful and fact-checked by the ABC." The View's latest dig at Joe Rogan comes after he exposed the declining viewership of mainstream media.
It's true. They're all watching YouTube. Nobody wants to watch the news. We're the new news. Once Trump told them that they fake news, we started looking at it different. We're the new news, okay? Mainstream media is no longer necessary. Straight up. They just overpaid ass motherfucking narrators and commenters, and they could be moved. You could pay them, and then they could, you know, use their voice to go against you. Mind the Major Baltimore. Salute, my big bro.
Particularly during this election cycle.
Jail and prison. Leftist viewers deal NBC, CNN, a Trump slump ratings crash. Here's why. So what's the numbers? What does it say? Does it say? The Rachel Maddow Show, for example, easily MSNBC's top-rated program, though it only airs once a week, drew just 1.3 million viewers on November 10th. 5 days after the election, a drop of 1 million viewers.
Man, I'll get 1 million views, you know what I'm saying, in a week.
From the month before.
This strange comment comes after a hellish week for The View, where Sonny Hostin was forced to read a legal...
Whoopi still look like a man to me. I'm going to tell you something, man. This is my opinion, man. I'm not going to... Now, listen. My favorite jeans back in the days, you can ask Lansky, were red monkey jeans, okay? Now, I'm not talking about anything about monkeys right now. All right. But... back in the days, I remember my mother, right? She made me watch The Color Purple. Now, this is before I knew how to, this is before I knew who the fuck Whoopi Goldberg was. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I was introduced to, let's just put it this way, man. She always been ugly. She always had that big stone face to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
legal notice not once but twice after airing
that wolf pussy
unproven claims about Matt Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz.
Look at that face. I love that face. Her whole expression changed. I love it.
Has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation.
Blank distance stare. You know what I'm saying? This is what you call the 30-yard stare, right? This it was developed like from people that come from war. They look like they looking distant in the distance. She's doing that on purpose. She's being facetious and disrespectful.
Should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
And again.
Sorry, I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime.
Yeah.
Gaetz previously dismissed allegations that he paid for
that stupid Kanye West blazer she got on. Double tap the screen. Get the likes up, man. Go to the top right. 3 dots. All right. This look like some transvestite shit she got on. I'm not going to lie, man. You know? Let's go down the motherfucking rabbit hole. Okay? Today's Friday. I might put some fucking Hennessy in this coffee today. Because trust me, they trying to send us to war out this bitch. But we gonna get to that. This Kanye West jacket. She like a fucking Roblox.
For sex, saying that, quote, someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward. Another legal note, Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he
I hope he hunts these bitches down.
paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit.
How would you feel? How would you feel? Somebody put a fake case on you, right? All right, cool. You beat the case. They throw the shit away. And then you have a show that's powerful as The View coming at you and trying to pump that at you. And then had you on their show. They had him on the show. Watch this.
He has denied any wrongdoing.
Just call the show Legal Note from now on.
Wear dresses, Fretsky? Oh, God. Lord.
Sonny Hostin has been mocked.
That's a cross-dresser.
This week for the forced apology. This commentator said Sonny Hostin had to read another correction on air for false claims she's made against Matt Gaetz and Pete Hegseth.
They tell me, Mac, don't say Jew, the word Jew, Jewish, transvestite, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They say that they're going to cancel me for saying, motherfucker, I'm already canceled. What are you talking about? Hey, Fred, Type my name up with Trump. Just for the fuck of it. You know I fuck with this algorithm, Fred. Type my name up next to Trump. You won't see one video pop up. You're going to see dead man. You're going to see a dead man. That one being Mac Miller. You're going to find Mac Miller.
Nigga, you gay.
All right, it's not my birthday. But no, try it out. Mac mean Trump. Call me on the side. I'm going to tell you why it's happening.
Seth. You know what would be easier? Firing her and cancelling The View. And Whoopi Goldberg also attracted controversy when she played the victim after...
Now, if I was to call... Okay, I don't want to encourage y'all in the chat to do nothing stupid. They already enabled me to do a lot of fuck shit around here. So I don't want to enable y'all. Y'all cannot curse in the chat or say anything derogatory. But let's play this game, right? Let's play this game called Pick the Animal. You know what I mean? What's my favorite animal? Okay. Is it A, cat? Is it B, dog? Or is it C, monkey? What's my favorite animal, y'all? A, B, or C? Cat is A, B is dog, and C is monkey. I'm gonna give you a chance to think about it. All right, listen, spoiler alert. A or B? A or B? Because it damn sure ain't C.
Cafe misunderstanding.
The bitter banshees over at The View, Brad, I know it's one of your favourite TV shows, have had another shocking week. This time Whoopi Goldberg has been caught out after she claimed a Staten Island bakery refused...
That part, Jussie, they call her Whoopi Smollett. She out here making fake claims.
...to serve her because of her left-wing views. But in fact, it turns out they couldn't serve her or any other customer because their oven had broken down.
Wow.
Rather than commit to something they couldn't guarantee, they say we can't.
And the bakery is fucking fuming. They like, why would you try to throw that bad dirt on us? Hey, we're going to put some sugar on this lemon and call that shit lemonade. They hunting Whoopi ass down for this.
Do it. And the person who besmirched and defamed them took that as an insult to her.
But this is the show that we must trust. This is the show that where all the facts come from. Joe Rogan ain't shit, you know what I'm saying? Only us, you know, even though the main host is a whole fucking liar and not just a regular little white liar. Is that racist? White liar? Little white lie. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up, right? Whoopi Goldberg cannot be trusted. And that's why we don't trust the fucking View. Plus, you obviously paid off. You know what I mean? Like the goalposts is constantly moved over there. We don't fuck with y'all like that.
Get over it.
Racist. Nigga, please.
Family will be here for God.
Nigga, please.
Willing another 145 years.
Brad, do you really watch The View? And has Whoopi Goldberg completely lost?
I mean, this whole fucking country racist, man. But strategically and systematically, this ain't nothing racist about this shit. The goalpost is moved. You know what I'm saying? Because look, right now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Black power. Black power. What's the opposite of black power? If it's okay for me to say black power, it should be easy for me to say white power. Yeah, white power. I'm with that. White power. White power. Oh, I was about to put that sign up. Oh, I'm playing with fire now, Fred. White power. Black owned. White owned. Fuck it. I would never, ever advertise my store to you niggas, or, you know what I'm saying, as black owned. Fuck you mean? Black owned. I understand it, but in my mind, it might get me less money. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Black owned shit is real expensive in the hood. You know what I mean? Well, who knows? I'm just saying that there's inequity in the whole racism thing. Don't you think? Just the conversation is it's unequal, it's dumb as fuck. Because do you wake up in the morning and you say, hey mom, you know, this shit is racist out here? No, hey mom, I need some motherfucking guards work in my pocket. You understand me? I need some money. The bullies that's fucking on me just don't like me. There ain't nothing racist about none of this shit. Not for me. Yeah, racism don't enter my top 10. Fuck racism. That shit's some made up shit y'all be doing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that this country ain't uneven somehow, but it's uneven for everybody, man. Somehow, some way. Somehow. The world is hard, motherfucker. Think them people in Africa is looking at, they not doing that, man. They thinking about building the economy up, man. That racism shit don't work for me, man. Y'all gotta have to start having a conversation and put your money together and come up with a solution for groups of people and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how you service yourself. But for the most part, shit is an imbalance. All right. Now I'm gonna show you some place where there ain't no imbalance. When you come here, if you come to this spot I'm about to show you, then ooh baby. Your motherfucking knife better be sharp. Trust me when I tell you. This is El Salvador, the fortress prison. Hey, yo, this ain't no regular ski that. Yo, bro, this is Rikers Island on cocaine and meth at the same time. This is where they put the worst of the worst. These are niggas that can't go to regular jail. They all banged out. And let me show you how they treat them motherfuckers over here. I understand why a lot of people run in this country. You ain't doing too good wherever the fuck you came from. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Rikers Island is a 5-star hotel compared to this shit. El Salvador. El Salvador. Salvador Brigante. Salvador Brigante. Too bad these niggas ain't got no TVs up here. Check it out.
We're going to go in here.
Even as I'm stepping through these doors, I don't fully grasp what we're about to walk into. Suddenly, you're hit with the intense gaze of dozens locking onto
you. Look at that shit.
The
Ain't nobody smiling up in that joint.
These men described as the worst of the worst, tattooed with reminders of El Salvador's dark past. It's tense and uncomfortable. But here, officials say comfort isn't meant to exist.
There's no mattresses, there's no sheets. You've got a toilet over here for them to go to the bathroom. You've got this basin here that they use to bathe themselves. And then you can see there's a barrel of water that they can drink from.
This is a rare look inside El Salvador's terrorism confinement center, known as Secot.
He says there's always somebody standing here in front of the cells. And then if you look up.
Let me explain something. El Salvador, this is how they cleaned up the country. This is how they turned the country overnight. They gave them absolute rights over civilians. So trust me when I tell you, a lot of people that's locked up right now is innocent. But they did a massive cleanup, and this is how it looks.
There's another corridor.
This is ADX out in this is crazy. And watch the levels of security outside of this bitch.
With more security personnel. Luz 24 horas. 24/7 light.
The prison sits like an isolated fortress, nestled in mountainous terrain.
Mattresses.
About an hour-and-a-half drive from the capital. Even with government officials on board with us, we're stopped a mile out.
Oh, okay. He's gonna inspect bags now too. Okay, we're clear to get back in.
Now my daughter's from El Salvador, and that's why it got me. Well, I'm from Cambodian. You know what I'm saying? I'm Cambodian. I'm really, you know what? I tell people that a lot that I'm Cambodian. I am. But really, I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. You feel me? Yeah, my daughter's mother is from El Salvador, though.
Only to hit another checkpoint. Approaching the main gate.
That's why my daughter look Mexican. It has nothing to do with me.
Our cell signals vanish.
They want to do a full search on us before we enter.
Secot's director, Belarmino Garcia, greets us and takes us through a rigorous security check.
Wedding ring. So this is like airport security on steroids.
It's 13. It's serious down this way.
Anything that we're carrying with us. Okay. Anything we're carrying with us has to go there. And then there's a body scan that continues on the other side. Okay. Shoes off. This one back on. Gracias.
Once cleared, we toured the vast campus, starting with the armory.
It says like 6, 7 football fields.
He says they have to constantly remind themselves that they're dealing with essentially the worst of the worst, and for that reason, they need to be ready for whatever risks
Look at that hardware
they might face. It's been equated to 7 football stadiums. It's almost multiple prisons within the prison. You can see off to the distance, there's 3 different rings as they describe. At the far end, you have one that's 9 meters high of concrete, and then above that, 3 meters of electrified fencing.
15,000 volts.
15,000 volts.
More than 1,000 security personnel, guards, police,
Man, rock-a-bye, baby. You ain't never coming out of here.
and military are stationed on site. Inmates are assigned to one of 8 sectors.
The director tells me the inmates, once they're inside one of these sectors, they never leave.
No.
Everything is
Once you get in there, you never come out.
tells me.
This is the warden of the jail right there, that little Mexican, well, El Salvadorian dude.
Inmates are assigned to one of 8 sectors.
The director tells me the inmates, once they're inside one of these sectors, they never leave. Everything is done within, including doctors, as well as legal visits or court hearings.
Each sector holds more than 24 large cells.
Roughly 80 inmates per cell.
Those people that standing in front of their cells, they never leave. There's always somebody there, 24 hours a day.
But it can fluctuate.
Most bear the markings of the gangs that held this nation hostage for decades, committing brutal acts of violence.
You gotta kill people, you gotta rob, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
You have to do those things.
Yeah, you gotta.
He's the head of one of the most vicious gangs, and he started that gang too. Hakeem, Ronnie, salute. Trisha, good morning, everybody.
And if you didn't do those
Grand Rising, salute.
things, you wouldn't.
Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up, man. We going down the rabbit hole today, man. Like I said, I might throw some Hennessy inside this coffee today, right? I actually drink Hennessy. I don't even actually have any Hennessy, right? But I tell you one thing: some of you men got panties with the dick holes.
Nigga, you gay.
All right, wipe your feet when you come up in here, man. Double tap the screen.
Between your shower and this, you need this. FDS Feminine Deodorant Spray has powder to absorb moisture. Use it every day to feel fresh, dry, and confident. FDS. Make it your second deodorant.
All right, that's for the fellas. Keep it clean down there. All right, cool.
You want to be a gangbanger?
We meet 41-year-old Marvin Vasquez, shackled and heavily guarded.
What gang were you part of?
MS-13.
And do you have any gang affiliations?
Yeah, I'm tattooed up.
What is this?
Crazy criminal. Say crazy criminal. Yeah, I made this clique in 2011.
You made the clique?
Yeah.
You were a gang leader?
Yeah.
What is it like to live here?
It's probably not a hotel 5-star, but they give you the 3 times the food. They give you some programs. You go to do exercise. Some church religion programs too.
But that's limited.
His eyes look dead.
Just 30 minutes a day. The other
Yeah, it's definitely rabbit hole.
23 and a half hours, they're kept inside and locked.
Damn, appreciate your freedom, man. Keep it clean out this bitch, you know? Or you'll be up in there. That's Rikers Island times 10. Okay. I got some more interesting shit. All right, let's talk about this war shit because I think this is the most important part stuff I'm gonna show you today for the day. Everything else is rabbit hole, but this right here, I need y'all to put your thinking caps on, okay? All right. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up, or go to the top right of the screen and hit the 3 dots. All right.
Thing right now, or they're just basically playing with fire, playing with death is what they're doing. So what exactly happened? Well, early this morning, this happened. Russia, for the first time in world history, launched their new hypersonic ballistic missiles called
Alfie. Salute, man. Pay attention. The things that they're launching right now cannot be stopped. I mean, like, this is some new stuff.
Called the Orashik missile, and it is absolutely devastating.
The Orashik missile sounds crazy. Sounds like they got the name from the fucking North Koreans. And speaking of the North Koreans, they acting stupid too. I'm gonna show you something.
Russia, for the first time in world history, launched their new hypersonic ballistic missiles called the...
All right, let's get out the shadows, man. I need everybody to spam the chat with ones, man. All right, if you're in the bushes, go ahead and show some love to the chat. Let's go.
Or a Sheik missile. And it is absolutely devastating what you're seeing here. They could not stop it. Notice there is no air defense fire coming in to try to stop this. NATO couldn't stop it at all. The speed with which...
No Iron Dome for this shit. NATO, we fucked up. We need to get away from these people fast as possible. I'm talking about the whole NATO, man. And they need to impeach Biden right now.
These things traveled was remarkable. And these things were outfitted with non-nuclear warheads, using hypersonic warheads. So in other words, this was a message. This was a message to the world. We can put nuclear warheads on these, and you can't.
I think it's more than 10,000 soldiers, but...
And stop them. We didn't. We used our hypersonic warheads, and it was devastating enough, and we took out all of these military targets. You couldn't do anything about it. We've been warning you about it. And with these long-range attacks inside of Russia, we've been warning you, and here it is. You guys can't stop this. You want to F around and find out some more? Because you know where this is headed right now. You know where this is headed. Here is President Putin just a short time ago.
And it's so weird that the government, the people that's running this shit, act like they don't see that this is heading straight to war. Like we don't, you know, I think we so fucking so caught up in this American shit that we don't even see like what's happening.
Go delivering a message to the world, really, not just Russia. This has been translated all over the world now, warning the West. Here is what you can expect from us. Watch.
Такому оружию на сегодняшний день не существует. Ракеты атакуют цели со скоростью.
You've been under a rock. This is Putin, okay?
2,5–3 километра в секунду. Современные, имеющиеся в мире.
Modern and anti-aircraft defense systems in the world. Like he's saying, basically he's boasting after they did this little test with these rockets, right? He's basically telling you cannot stop us. It is what it is. You're gonna do what the fuck we say, or we're gonna fire these off, and we're gonna put something besides a banana on the tip of these shits.
All over the world now, warning the West. Here is what you can expect from us. Watch.
No countermeasure exists against this weapon.
На сегодняшний день не существует. Ракеты атакуют цели со скоростью.
It travels at the missile attacks targets at a speed of Mach 10.
10 Мах. Это 2,5–3 километра в секунду.
3 kilometers per second.
Современные, имеющиеся в мире системы противовоздушной обороны и создаваемые американцами.
It's better than all that anti-missile defense systems created by the Americans.
Система противоракетной обороны в Европе, подобные ракеты.
And Europe cannot intercept such missiles.
Не перехватывают.
It's too close. This is out of the question.
Это исключено. Подчеркну еще раз.
I would like to stress once again
что не Россия, а
that it was not Russia, but the United
именно
States
США разрушили систему международной
that destroyed the international security system.
И продолжая бороться,
and by continuing the fight, clinging to their hegemony,
цепляться за свою гегемонию, толкают
they are pushing the whole world into a global conflict.
весь мир глобальный конфликт.
I mean, just let this sink in for a second.
Well, you'd have to be a meathead to be like, yeah, I want that.
Thank you.
I hear you and I raise you this. Like, who wants that? Who's not afraid of that?
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying to think. And by the way, 3,000 miles, the range on these, 1,000 miles up to 3,000 miles, hit all of these European targets, and they can't do anything to stop it. This comes like just hours after the United Kingdom allowed these Storm Shadow missiles to be fired into Russia. This is a clear message to the United Kingdom. This is a clear...
Well, some people, you probably could read it, Joff, but there's a lot of people that complain that the letters be too small. But thank you for your concern. All right? Next time I'm going to time your ass out. I just told you I'll be on bullshit on this channel, right? I'm going to let you go.
Message to Germany, all of your...
Or I could just tell you I do what the fuck I want. Double tap screen. Get the likes up.
European allies, all of those European allies, even Portugal that supplied a tank, one tank, like from the 1970s. Spain, all of you guys, France. Like, you want to keep effing around, you're going to find out. Now, Zelensky got on his cell phone and recorded a quick message in response to this, you know, saying they're still trying to gather the information about these advanced weapons that Russia fired into.
Oh, is that the real symbol? Let me put your wrench on.
To their territory, but he basically said they're treating Ukraine as a proving ground for these advanced weapons. Yeah, how astute of you.
Сьогодні була нова російська ракета. Всі характеристики, швидкість, висота міжконтинентальної балістичної. Зараз тривають експертизи. Очевидно, що Путін використовує Україну як полігон.
Say Putin is using the Ukraine as a fucking testing ground.
Yeah. So it is a proving ground, right? So we know that NATO is using Ukraine as a proxy. Therefore, it is a proving ground.
So if you were a real leader, sir, you would say, I need to protect my people and abandon my allies in the West and go to peace talks so that none of us die. That's what a real leader would do. That's what a real man would do.
I mean, do you see overnight also Zelensky basically admitted that, hey, you know, all of our talk about trying to get Crimea back by force, it's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to get it back by force.
Way to wake up.
Hello.
Okay.
Go ahead, David.
Well, and you're listening to a country that is nowhere near you and ignoring your neighbor. Russia is their neighbor. That would be like us ignoring something with Mexico and Mexico having some deal with Russia. It's like, you're a neighbor. We need to have a good relationship.
No, that's like knowing your neighbor has the meth lab, a very unsafe meth lab, and being like, cool, my kids probably can sleep well at night.
Now, all of this, of course, you know, go back to 2014, right? And so when anyone in our chat room who's not familiar with this war doesn't understand the history of it, of course, this all started in 2014, arguably before that, but really in 2014 when the United States fomented a coup backed by the CIA inside of Ukraine, and of course then started attacking ethnic Russians in the contested region of the Donbass.
Fucking when we took these punks Ukraine in, you know what we did? We also took their nuclear capabilities, right? They can't use nothing. Now this dude Biden is trying to give them the nuclear weapons back. It's stupid.
Boston, yes, all of that area, right? Those people did not want a United States-backed government in Kiev. And they called upon the help of the Russian Federation. Well, they were being genocided then for years, about 9.
So back then, okay, so we're saying in 2014, they ran up the Tompkins and sought them dudes to trust. They went to Russia to have the Russia hold them down against America. So
backed by the CIA inside of Ukraine, and of course then started attacking ethnic Russians in the contested region of the Donbass and yes, all of that area, right? Those people did not want a United States-backed government in Kiev. And they called upon the help of the Russian Federation. Well, they were being genocided then for years, about 9 years, and Putin had had enough. They had a peace agreement on the table that was, of course, scuttled. That was scuttled by the United States and Boris Johnson in the UK, which are the ones driving this entire process right now to launch these long-range missiles into Russia.
I don't think it's accurate to say Putin had had enough. The mayors in those regions petitioned Russia, and this went to parliament. So it was not Putin's personal decision. It was Russian government that voted to save the people that were ethnic Russians in those cities. So when we give this to Putin personally, we're handing that narrative to the American government that likes to frame him as somebody who acts on his whims.
Like he's an autocrat.
Right.
That's true. That's true. But ultimately, with the Russian parliament, it was a decision to finally move into that area to protect those ethnic Russians.
Right. At least Russian.
My bad, y'all.
Get a vote on the wars that they go to.
Missile treaty in place. The United States made a huge mistake in abandoning this missile treaty, and now you're seeing the results of the power and the advanced technology that you cannot stop. Watch.
Right.
To destroy the system that was established by the.
You know what? the type of channel that talk back to you and tell you suck a dick. How about that, pussy? You shot, I shot back. Now you're gone. Good riddance.
And missile treaty in 2019, we see that the United States and their allies are now considering and have successfully tested their capabilities to deploy advanced missile systems in different parts of the world. And they're exercising.
Biden is playing games, but Putin is playing wholesale war games. He playing war games, man.
This is routinely included.
We know we at the end or the beginning, man. I'm keeping it real. We at the end of the beginning of World War III or the end of some bullshit and the start of a whole different world. It's that simple. Spell own backwards. Like you own a car, spell that backwards.
The use of such weapons. Russia has unilaterally refused to deploy intermediate and small range missiles until we.
I hear you, Terry. We have defense systems that can, stop Putin stuff. Maybe. Why we want to play with that?
See similar weapons deployed by the United States in a region of the world. The use of the novel system, which was essentially an operation.
What are you saying? Ain't this what we all wanted? You're trying to blame this on Trump somehow? These people is crazy, man. This is what we all wanted. It seems like you're trying to blame all of this, even though he just explained that the conflict from the Ukraine comes back from 2014 when Ukraine tried to actually use Russia against us. That's why I said we don't fuck with them. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if this is what people want. Do they want World War III? I sincerely doubt it.
The test was carried out in response to the decisions made by the United States and their allies.
So this new novel system, he admits it was a test, and he then says it went off flawlessly. And as you can see here again, this was the launch of it. Nothing even came close to stopping these hypersonic attacks in Ukraine using these advanced weapon systems, traveling at the speed and the distance that they did.
Now, the New York Times today has some unnamed officials saying that some inside the Biden administration are considering returning Ukraine's nuclear weapons that were.
Trisha, I just seen Cash App salute. And bro's good because I just spoke to him yesterday, but I'll check in after this. Just hit my Instagram and I'll let you know what's going on. Mac mean true story on Instagram, y'all.
Taken after the fall of the Soviet Union. So.
I mean, you want the link? See, Cooper's going to come over here, even though I hit the links at this channel, and I go up there and I let them jump me and everything, right? But Cooper don't want to hit the link here for some reason. He always got something to do when it's time to hit the link here. It's your scared ass. I ain't even dropping no link for you, Cooper. You ain't gonna hit no link.
You recall we had an agreement with.
You be fucking my fun up. It's Friday too, man. I'm not messing with you right now. I'm ignoring you.
With Ukraine to remove their nuclear weapons in exchange for protection. That's why we've been arming them to kill their own people for over a decade. Now we're like, well, we could give it back to them. They could hit Russia. Russia could nuke them. They could just collectively nuke each other, and then we could stay out of it. That is not what Russia's new nuclear treaty allows for. Russia says that anyone who arms someone who hits us will be considered a target as well. So they're really playing with fire, not just fire, but fireworks, nuclear fireworks.
As Chris Ballantyne.
Well, listen, nobody's forcing people to enlist into the services, but you do make some valid points. Like my son, he's a Marine. He wants to kill. You know what I'm saying? So nobody's forcing him to go anywhere. That nigga just wants to go out there and kill some shit.
Now, Chad says wrong. It started when NATO and the United States broke the Minsk Accords. Absolutely. So 2014, you have this coup.
Remind me, like if I'm about to drop this link, right? For Cuba specifically, right? Remind me to ask Cuba, what the fuck is he talking about? Right, when he's talking, because what I mean by that is that Cuba is saying that basically this is something that we want. Like, we want war. I want him to clarify what the fuck he talking about. Because somehow I feel like they're going to blame it on Trump.
United States and NATO back off of the Minsk Accords, which were all joke to begin with, right?
Well, Bill Clinton, I believe, was quoted saying the United States never, was it Bill Clinton? Never was meant to adhere to that, or was it John McCain?
No, well, you're thinking of, my God, in Germany, why can't I think of
Angela Merkel?
Angela Merkel, yes. I didn't get much sleep last night. My dog had me up at 4 in the morning, for crying out loud.
I'm just going to bring y'all up for a second because I got a long-ass fucking list of shit to do today, all right? So I'm going to bring you up to drop whatever y'all got to drop, you know what I mean? And then I just don't want to end up doing a panel and take away from what I'm trying to do here.
Anyway, Angela Merkel, who jokingly said, you know, we never meant to adhere to the Minsk Accords at all. So they were toying with the Russian Federation the entire time. They never meant to have peace because they're liars. That's exactly how this unfolded. And David, go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off there.
Well, no, you're fine. Also, when you look at those missiles,
listen to homie right here,
hitting, it doesn't look like there's a huge spread either. So it's like it's so precise on what it's hitting that it's like hitting directly on its target. It doesn't look like it's dispersing much outside of that.
No, and that's been the analysis from weapons inspectors that I've spoken to, and also separate military analysis.
Those fucking missiles is fast as shit.
That the precision of these missiles was I mean, dead on. There's no other way to describe it. Incredibly precise damage in here. Of course, again, as Putin said, this is a response to.
Now I'm not even going to. If the link don't work, don't worry about it because I'm not going to drop it again. I really don't want to do a panel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do a panel tonight on my other channel. That's why I'm saying, like, I just want to get through this content. I'm literally leaving at 11:30. So 9:30 to 11:30 is the show today. Normally I do it at 6:30 at night, but I can't. I'm not going to be able to do it tonight. So
Ukraine firing now British Storm Shadow missiles into Russia and United States missiles into Russia. Ukraine fired at least 10 British.
All right, man. It's obviously shit is fucked up out here, right now. Your boy Netanyahu, it says war crimes court issues warrants for Netanyahu, and the former Israeli defense minister. So they trying to put this nigga in jail right now? Is what they saying? It don't let me go into the link. Yeah, but tonight I'm gonna be dogging out Brooklyn rapper. You know what I'm saying? I might not even be 2 hours with this video today. You know what I mean? But here we go. That's the other channel right there. Mac Mean TSTV. L'Oreal just posted it. Y'all could go subscribe over there too. I'll be outside tonight, man. You know, in some shit. Okay. So let's just see how true this is.
World's top war crimes court issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for what the court called crimes against humanity for intentionally depriving Gazans of food and directing attacks against civilians.
Lock his ass the fuck up.
Israel today called it an anti-Semitic attack on democracies trying to defend themselves from terrorism. Here's Nick Schifrin with more.
In the moonscape that is now northern Gaza, in the desperation of Gazan civilians, lacking the basic necessities of life, or what the International Criminal Court today called Israeli crimes against humanity for having, quote, intentionally and knowingly deprived the civilian population in Gaza of objects indispensable to their survival, including food, water, and medicine, and, quote, intentionally directing attacks against the civilian population of Gaza, as ICC prosecutor Karim Khan argued on the NewsHour in September.
Even war has rules. And yet we're seeing baby after baby destroyed. People in Gaza who want to have food and water, who want to stop waking up in terror as bombs land and the earth shakes and no place is safe, it seems, including schools.
Today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called Khan a corrupt prosecutor and the ICC judges biased.
This is an anti-Semitic act that has one goal: to deter me, to deter us from exercising our natural right to defend ourselves against our enemies who rise up against us to destroy us, accusing the state of Israel of genocide, while we are working to defend ourselves from an enemy who is trying to commit genocide against us.
The ICC accuses Netanyahu and Gallant of, quote, starvation as a method of warfare and impeding humanitarian aid with no justification.
When you put it all together, it's clear that Israel has chosen to fight Hamas, not just directly, not just by targeting fighters, but by squeezing Palestinian civilians.
Ken Roth is a Princeton professor and the former executive director of Human Rights Watch.
The court today, in affirming the arrest warrants, highlights, the starvation. The fact that children have died of malnutrition, the fact that people are having to have operations without anesthesia. This is because Israel has imposed one obstacle after another to the delivery of humanitarian aid.
Israel argues it does not restrict aid and has in the last year facilitated 39,000 trucks to enter Gaza with more than 840,000 tons of food. It also accuses the UN of failing to distribute enough aid and of Hamas and criminal gangs of stealing aid.
To accuse us of starving them is unbelievable. Those trucks are getting into Hamas hands, and they're the one who's depriving it from their people.
Ori Egos is a lieutenant colonel in the Israeli reserves and a former Israeli military lawyer and judge.
We're keeping the humanitarian law, and it's actually quite an absurd to hear it from our point of view.
Today's arrest warrants also accuse Netanyahu and Gallant of failing to prevent or investigate, quote, intentional attacks on civilians.
The affirmation of the arrest warrants is appropriate recognition that the way the Israeli government has been fighting the war in Gaza has been by pursuing a war crime strategy.
They're doing the best they can do not to harm civilians. But again, this is war. To think that in a war, you can be in a place that you don't harm civilians, it's impossible. You have to remember that Hamas is using intentionally human shields and putting his missiles and his targets inside schools.
The ICC also issued an arrest warrant today for the man who helped design that strategy, Mohammed Deif, even though Israel says it killed him months ago. As for Netanyahu and Gallant, the ICC's 124 member states are now obligated to arrest them, which means they hold.
Motherfuckers done fucked up, man. Double tap the stream. Let's get the likes up. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Everybody that's here. I didn't really plan on I was supposed to be doing this video last night. I got to tap in with my bro, DS1, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. You know what I mean? So we can regroup, and I got, the reason why we haven't been doing the show over there together and over here is because it's all on me. It's all on Mac. My schedule's just been fucked up, dealing with a lot of moving a lot of pieces around in the last 2 weeks. So we'll have our shit together soon. It's on me. I'm gonna tap in with bro today, and we're gonna get to it. Eve James in the building. How you doing, baby girl? How is you doing, Eve? All right. Now, I want y'all to listen to this, right? I got halfway through this Piers Morgan situation. Now, yo, listen. This channel gave me a strike one time, I think. Piers Morgan. They stopped me somehow. But it only matters if you get like more than 100,000 views on the video. I don't foresee this video doing 100,000 views. Maybe about 10,000, 20,000. Who knows? But I don't see it doing 100, so I'm going to play it. I'm going to take a risk with this one. All right? Just because the conversation was so dope.
We heard your piece.
Now them two in the middle, they got an issue. They got an issue. I like it. I like the back and forth a little bit. I think it gets wild, but
immediately threatened to kick the Russians out of the Sevastopol naval base. Only then did the Russians change the status quo on the Crimean Peninsula, which, by the way, belonged to Russia since the 1780s. since before the American Constitution.
So did
was
Alaska.
even...
Should we give Alaska back?
Anyway, this guy's an idiot. But if you want me to keep talking with you, Pierce, I'll happily
finish your point.
You know, this guy sounds. I'll tell you what. With this guy talking about, oh, we just have to help them win. That's what they said for 20 years in Afghanistan. We just have to help the Tajiks and the Hazaras and the Uzbeks crush the Pashtuns. And once we're done, it'll be great. We can't sell them out now. We can't leave now. And then what happened? Hundreds of thousands of people killed, and they lost anyway. And everyone knows it's in the Wall Street Journal. It's in the Council on Foreign Relations Journal, Foreign Affairs. Even Richard Haas, the former president of the CFR, has a new piece in Foreign Affairs saying, give it up. We know that there's nothing America can do to help Ukraine retake the Donbass, Zaporozhye, Kherson, Crimea. They can't, unless you want to call in the B-2s and the B-52s and the U.S. Navy, at which point we have a general war. So the war is lost. So this guy can bloviate all he wants about how, no, it would be wrong.
This war ain't going to be over until Biden gets his fucking money out of the Ukraine.
To turn our back now. The Russians haven't even launched a full-scale mobilization in their country. This is a police action to them, while the Ukrainians are already running out of men, and Jake Sullivan is demanding that they increase conscription. That is slavery. On behalf of a war, we're looking at antiwar.com.
Fight for free now.
Today, we have the
Russia
headline.
has conscription.
The majority of
slavery?
Ukrainians want to negotiate. There's your democracy for you. The majority of Ukrainians know that what I just said is true. Even Yulia Tymoshenko a year ago said it's time to negotiate.
Okay.
This guy's a fool.
Okay, well, before I go to General
He is.
Kimmett, again, I want to just get Jake to just respond to that, because you're a fool, apparently.
Well, according to this guy, democratic revolutions are never possible. We had one in this country in 1776.
What are you talking about? I didn't say that. Why don't you argue with something I said, you dumb bastard?
Wow. Okay. You got some anger
I didn't say it was
issues, man.
never possible. America spent $100 million. To overthrow the government in Ukraine.
These guys on this panel are
$100 million to overthrow the government in Ukraine.
$100 million to overthrow the government in Ukraine.
These guys on this panel are arguing that the people of the former Soviet republics have no right to self-determination.
The government.
Thank you.
They're saying that as soon as Putin installs a strong man in any of these countries that remains corrupt and loyal
Man, you sitting on a dildo. Shut the fuck up.
to him, change is never possible. Viktor Yanukovych was not killed. He was not imprisoned. He fled. He fled back to Russia. He fled back to his masters. And in my opinion, when you're the president of a country and you flee the country,
spent $100 million
you gave up your power.
overthrowing him. Look, man.
Okay, so if I'm being serious here. I genuinely want to understand the conspiracy that the United States is behind.
It's not a conspiracy, it's a fact.
Color revolutions of these Soviet
you've never heard
republics.
of the National Endowment for
Because
Democracy, huh?
When Russia invaded, why did we offer them a ride? Why the delay in tanks? Why the delay in HIMARS? Why the delay in Patriot systems? Why the delay in F-16s? Why are we just giving approval for ATACMS this week after 1,000 days of the war?
Exactly. You should be asking the same thing. Why are you giving approval now? He just fucking made a very good point.
Why the delay in HIMARS? Why the delay in Patriot systems? Why the delay in F-16s? Why are we just giving approval for ATACMS this week after 1,000 days of the war if the conspiracy always was the United States was trying to separate Ukraine from Russia, that we're trying to install a CIA-backed government or whatever? I don't understand this conspiracy when we haven't done everything to fully support Ukraine.
Okay,
Can you explain this to me? Because I don't understand.
Okay, let me just time out for a second.
I mean, why we don't owe him nothing from the beginning? We came into the game saving him.
I want to bring in General. I want to bring in General Kimmett. I'll come back to you, Scott.
Well,
I
he
promise you.
asked me something, Pierce, so let me answer it.
Okay.
Look, you're completely mixing up what I said about 2014 with then questions about 22. Clearly, as everyone on this panel knows, they announced repeatedly in the New York Times and the Washington Post in March and April of 22 that the purpose of the war now is to prolong it for the strategic weakening of Russia. So no amount of
wow.
the weapons you just
Russia just gets stronger.
Stop this war at any time. Russia's
no
weakening
amount of the
themselves by
weapons you just
continuing
named.
this war.
No amount of the weapons you just named would have turned the tide at that point.
Okay, let me
But
bring
the
in.
Biden administration decided to trickle the weapons in, as you correctly described, in order to keep the war
But you're
going.
saying-
All right, let me bring in
Ban
General
Russia.
Kimmett. I want to bring in General Kimmett now. General Kimmett,
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot
you
of
don't
people have.
understand.
Hang on,
That's
Scott. Let
why-
me bring in the
that's
others.
the same reason they backed
there are
the
four
Mujahideen
people on
in
the panel.
Afghanistan in the 80s.
Scott, let me bring in General Kimmett. He's been waiting very.
And bleed them to bankruptcy.
Damn, somebody shot dude, G, whatever his name is. Man, I was watching you trying to do what you do. I was hoping they didn't shoot you, but I think that they turned you to a ghost, bro.
We'll come back to
Have
you.
you seen Rambo 3?
There are
It's
four
the
of us
same
on the
thing.
four
Are you
people on the
pro-Soviet
panel.
Union?
All
Do
right,
you want
guys,
the Soviet Union to
please,
still
time out.
exist?
Time
Subscribe to the channel. Nigga, troll account up and come in here and act nice now.
out,
You're
please.
so stupid. Give
General
me a break.
Kimmett, thank you for your patience.
There's
A lot
no
of
one more
people are very
anti-communist
concerned, General
than you.
Kimmett, about the possibility of this developing into a nuclear conflict. I've never understood that because every red line that's been crossed in this war, of which there have been multiple.
Exactly. I'm trying to. They said that we're trying to prevent World War III from happening, which leads me to thinking, how the fuck did World War II start? Says World War II explained in 5 minutes. Before we continue on what's going on right now, let's look at the past real quick.
World War II was a global conflict in which Germany, Italy, and Japan, called the Axis powers, fought against Britain, the Soviet Union, the US, and China from 19...
No, wow. So China and Russia was on each other's side, with and the United States. So we all, oh God,
39 to 40.
Japan, Germany, and Italy.
Union, the US, and China, Italy, and Japan. World War II was a global conflict in which Germany, Italy, and Japan, called the Axis powers, fought against Britain, the Soviet Union, the US, and China from 1939 to 45.
Ain't that a bitch?
Coming to power in 1933, Hitler capitalized on the economic depression that had spread worldwide following the crash of Wall Street, as well as the German resentment of the humiliating Treaty of Versailles, signed after Germany's surrender in World War I, declaring that the Germans were a superior race that needed living space, Lebensraum. Hitler began to rebuild the German military and broke the terms of the Treaty of Versailles. Hoping to avoid war, France and Britain allowed Hitler to expand German territory unchecked by uniting with Austria and annexing the German-speaking areas of Czechoslovakia, Sudetenland, before invading the entire country. World War II erupted in Europe in September 1939, when Germany invaded Poland from the west before the Soviet invasion from the east.
Germany invaded Poland from the west. Wow.
And France responded by declaring war on Germany, but took little offensive action. In 1940, Germany invaded Denmark and Norway to secure iron supply, followed shortly by successful attacks on Belgium, the Netherlands, and even France. All of these nations were conquered swiftly by mid-1940, thanks to the Blitzkrieg, the German offensive warfare using a rapid, overwhelming force concentration designed to achieve quick victory.
Over a country like that.
The British Expeditionary Force was trapped at Dunkirk, but managed to withdraw by sea back to Britain.
Wow, look at that shit.
Was trapped at Dunkirk, but managed to withdraw.
Man, that shit was miserable.
By sea back to Britain. Later in the summer of 1940, Germany launched a further attack on Britain exclusively from the air, as the island nation was well protected by the mighty Royal Navy. Although the German Luftwaffe heavily bombed London during the Blitz and other British cities, it was never able to overcome Britain's Royal Air Force and resilience. Italy, led by fascist dictator Mussolini, an ally of Germany, expanded the war even further by invading parts of North Africa and launching an unsuccessful campaign in Greece. In 1941, Germany led the Axis powers against the Soviet Union in the largest...
Yeah, shit. Once they start, they just start taking countries.
Prize land invasion in history called Operation Barbarossa. Behind the lines, millions of Jews and communists were exterminated in horrible killing factories. Hitler, who had hoped for a quick victory, initially made swift progress deep into the Russian heartland. However, the invasion of the USSR would prove to be the first major German setback, as the German forces, Wehrmacht, gradually got trapped in a war of attrition due to the country's sheer size, poor roads, brutal winters, and the Soviet scorched earth policy and resilience. In 1943, after the battles of Stalingrad and Kursk, Germany was forced into a full-scale retreat. In the Pacific, Japan, a new power that aimed to strengthen its dominant position in the region and acquire resources for its fast-growing population, seized Manchuria from China in 1931. In December 41, Japan launched a surprise attack on the U.S. Navy base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. America, which till then
got their ass spanked right there. Pearl Harbor, playing with Pearl Harbor, got these motherfuckers spanked.
Had been supporting Britain and imposing economic sanctions against Japan, officially joined the war against the Axis powers. Japan pursued its expansionist policy throughout the Southeast Asia-Pacific region and committed terrible war crimes, but its advances were halted in 1942 after losing the critical Battle of Midway against the U.S. Germany and Italy suffered a decisive defeat against the British at the Battle of Alamein in Egypt in 1942, which was a turning point of the North African campaign. In 1943, after Mussolini's regime collapsed and the Allies landing in Sicily, the Germans moved to quickly take control of Italy, fearing its loss to the Allies. On the Eastern Front, the Soviets became the unlikely allies of the Americans, and the British gradually pursued the Germans across Eastern Europe. In June 1944, American, British, and Canadian forces launched the D-Day invasion, the largest seaborne invasion in history, on the coast of Normandy to begin the liberation of German-occupied France. The Allies also continued the strategic bombing campaign on German cities. Allied forces were closing in on Germany from both fronts, east and west, until May 1945, when Germany surrendered after the Soviets' invasion of Berlin and Hitler's suicide. By spring 45, most of Japan's conquests had been liberated, and Allied forces were closing in on the Japanese home islands. Following the bombing campaigns against Japanese cities and Japan's refusal to surrender, the U.S. dropped 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Faced also with the Soviet invasion of Manchuria, Japan surrendered in September 1945. World War II was the bloodiest and largest conflict in history, with about 60 million deaths worldwide, many of whom from the Soviet Union and China, as well as Jews exterminated during the Holocaust. The United Nations was created and a sense of political and economic integration began, especially in Europe, to forge a sense of common identity. The influence of European great powers waned, triggering the decolonization of Africa and Asia, and setting the stage for the emergence of the US and the Soviet Union as new rival superpowers to confront in a Cold War.
Now, listen, that's cool, but now look how this, we heard of the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, hard ER.
Between your shower and this, you need this.
But it says the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I showed some of this yesterday, but this is super interesting. I'd rather just do videos like this, man, the history lesson.
Of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, while nuclear physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer was the director of the Los Alamos laboratory that designed the bombs. Groves and Oppenheimer...
Let's not get twisted. America, we some bad motherfuckers, man. All that war talking and shit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we want peace and all that, but don't get it twisted. We got something that is fucking... Oh. Yeah, we got some shit.
Decided that for security reasons, they needed to establish a centralized...
I'm not gonna say... I'm not gonna tell you the exact names. Maybe they might mention it at some point. Or me showing his content, but we got some shit that'll levitate the country.
Secret research laboratory in a remote location. This would become known as Project Y. Oppenheimer favored a location in New Mexico at a site he knew well. a flat mesa near Santa Fe, New Mexico, which was the site of a private boys' school. The Los Alamos Laboratory was built on the site of the school, taking over some of its buildings. At the Los Alamos Laboratory, Oppenheimer gathered the best physicists of the time, calling them the luminaries. Initially, the team at Los Alamos focused on creating a plutonium-based gun-type fission weapon nicknamed Thin Man. However, by April 1944, they realized that this type of plutonium had a high rate of spontaneous fission due to plutonium-240, which could trigger a premature detonation. Oppenheimer then reorganized the laboratory and orchestrated a successful effort on an alternative
war is some nasty stuff, man. It's nasty, man.
Design proposed by John von Neumann, an implosion-type nuclear weapon, which was called Fat Man, and a gun-type design using uranium-235, which became known as Little Boy.
Oh boy, oh God.
While the sense of accomplishment for Oppenheimer and his luminaries was significant in that their work paid off, they never knew who.
Those names that go down in history. Klaus Emil Julius Fuchs was a German theoretical physicist and atomic spy who supplied information from the American, British, and Canadian Manhattan Project to the Soviet Union. So how the fuck was he even a part of the Manhattan Project to feed the Russians information?
Could be watching. Concerns about whether the complex Fat Man design would work led to a decision to conduct the first nuclear test. Prior to this test, there was also some concern among scientists that a nuclear explosion might initiate a reaction that could ignite the atmosphere. Based on the theoretical possibility that a nuclear explosion could generate temperatures high enough to cause a fusion reaction in nitrogen atoms in the atmosphere, leading to a catastrophic chain reaction. However, after detailed calculations and discussions, they concluded that such an outcome was extremely unlikely. So they went on with the test. The codename Trinity was assigned by Oppenheimer himself, who along with some 425 people were present on the weekend of the test. They were told to lie face down on the ground and wear black goggles to protect their eyes from the intense flash of the explosion. On July 16, 1945, at 5:29 a.m., the United States Army conducted the first ever detonation of a nuclear weapon. The test was of an implosion-designed plutonium bomb, nicknamed the Gadget. While watching the explosion, Oppenheimer remembered a line from the Bhagavad Gita, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." On the other side of the world, U.S. President Harry Truman.
Imagine if they calculated wrong and ignited the whole atmosphere. That shit would have went through the whole world. The world would have been over if they would have made the wrong calculation.
Was at the Potsdam.
Atmosphere means air. Anywhere where there's air, we're talking about a chain reaction of that.
Conference in the Soviet occupation zone of Germany, when he received the news through a coded message from Secretary of War Henry Stimson, informing him that the test had been successful, beyond expectations. This crucial information greatly influenced the discussions at the Potsdam.
We're talking about how these people end up getting a bomb put on them, you know what I'm saying, that changed their entire future.
Conference, especially in how Truman handled.
Tap the screen and get the likes up, or go to the top right and hit the three dots, you know what I'm saying? That's where the light was at.
Diplomatic negotiations with the Soviet Union about ending the war and shaping the post-war world. When Truman informed Stalin of the atomic bomb, he said that the United States had a new weapon of unusual destructive force. But Stalin had full knowledge of the atomic bomb's development from Soviet spy networks inside the Manhattan Project, and told Truman at the conference that he hoped Truman would make good use of it against the Japanese. On July 26, 1945, the United States, Britain, and China issued the Potsdam Declaration, outlining Japan's terms of surrender. The declaration came with a firm ultimatum: "We will not deviate from them. There are no alternatives. We shall brook no delay."
Cuba, if your ass stop trolling, you know what I'm saying, and gaming so much, I'll show you how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? So you could create your conversation so you ain't got to be arguing with fucking old head in the chat. I'm watching you niggas.
The declaration demanded the elimination of military influence in governance, limited Japanese sovereignty to the main islands.
Thank you, L'Oreal. Thank you, L'Oreal.
And called for complete disarmament, emphasizing democratic reforms and human rights. It also outlined terms for economic rehabilitation and the path towards a peace-oriented self-government under Allied occupation until these goals were met. The mention of unconditional surrender came at the end of the declaration.
Japan thought they was bad. They thought they were some badasses. We showed them.
Call upon the government of Japan to proclaim now the unconditional surrender of all Japanese armed forces and to provide proper and adequate assurances of their good faith in such action. The
gave them a warning.
Alternative for Japan is prompt and utter destruction. American bombers dropped over 3 million leaflets describing the declaration over Japan. Even though picking up enemy propaganda leaflets and listening to foreign radio broadcasts was illegal in Japan. The terms of the declaration sparked intense debate within the Japanese government. After receiving the declaration, Foreign Minister Togo quickly convened a meeting with Prime Minister Suzuki and Cabinet Secretary Sakomizu. Sakomizu noted that there was a consensus on the need to accept the declaration. However, despite leaning towards acceptance, Togo found the terms vague regarding Japan's future government structure, disarmament processes, and the fate of accused war criminals. He also hoped that the Soviet Union might mediate negotiations with the Western allies to clarify and possibly revise the terms. However, as we will see, Togo's hope for Soviet mediation would ultimately backfire dramatically.
Big dental bills can often come as a
That's no lie. That shit was tragic. What they did on Pearl Harbor was bad, but what we did in return.
Shortly after, Togo met with Emperor Hirohito and advised him to consider the declaration very carefully, suggesting they delay a response until they heard from the Soviets about mediating peace. According to a foreign ministry official, Hirohito immediately expressed that he found the declaration acceptable in principle. Meanwhile, the Supreme Council for the Direction of the War met the same day to discuss the declaration. War Minister Anami, General Umezu, and Admiral Toyoda opposed accepting the declaration, argued that the terms were too dishonorable, and advised for the Japanese government to reject it openly. On the other hand, Suzuki, Togo, and Admiral Yonai were inclined to accept the declaration, but agreed that clarification was needed over the status of the empire.
All right, let's get to the action. Let's go to when they blow y'all shit up. Here you go.
U.S. occupation headquarters.
I just want to show you the type of badasses we get, how we get. We get crazy too.
While others wondered if their relatives in Hawaii and California had appealed to the U.S. government to spare the city. But Hiroshima was spared for a completely different reason. On August 6, 1945, the B-29 bomber, Enola Gay, named after Colonel Paul Tibbets's mother and piloted by Tibbets
forget that name
himself, took off from Northfield on Tinian, destined.
Double tap the screen, please. Let's get the lights up. We'll go to the top right and hit the 3 dots. Y'all wilding. Let's get the lights all the way up. Come on. It's Friday. What the fuck are y'all doing over there? So I don't like going early. I got a certain time when my algorithm pop. That's for the people that's coming from work. All right? Not the ones that sneak in, you know what I'm saying? Because at this time, you only got 3 different type of people. You got business owners. You got people that's working, that's sneaking and listening, right? And then you got bum-ass niggas, all right? Let's keep it real.
And for Japan.
Like Cuba, 22. You really sound like a little girl that lost her teddy bear. Oh, shit.
Enola Gay was part of a trio that included 2 other B-29s. The Great Artiste, commanded by Major Charles Sweeney, which carried instrumentation, and a then nameless aircraft later named Necessary Evil was tasked with photography.
Oh, one of old head's things was hidden for some reason. Probably because he put STFU.
After leaving Tinian,
hey, everybody, for no reason, type FU in my chat, y'all. Catch some wreck.
Enola Gay made
Get them likes up. Let's go.
its way separately to Iwo Jima to rendezvous with the great artiste and the necessary evil aircraft at 5:55 and set course for Japan. Parsons, who was in command of the mission, had witnessed 4 B-29s crash and burn at takeoff and feared that a nuclear...
I'm the real old head, you know what I'm saying? I like all this old war shit, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it gives me an idea of what can happen today as a result of some of this shit that we're doing right now.
Explosion would occur if a B-29 crashed with an armed little boy on board. So he armed the bomb in flight to minimize the risks during takeoff. His assistant, Second Lieutenant Morris Jepson, removed the safety devices only 30 minutes before reaching the target area. 3 other B-29s flew about an hour ahead, acting as weather scouts. Enola Gay reached Hiroshima with clear skies at 8:09 local time, at which point Tibbets initiated the bomb run and handed control to his bombardier, Major Thomas Ferriby. At 8:15, Little Boy, which contained approximately 64 kilograms or 140 pounds of uranium-235, was released.
Small one.
It took 44.4 seconds to fall from the aircraft, flying at about 9.4 kilometers until it detonated approximately 580 meters above the city. At the moment of detonation, the temperature within the fireball itself reached to over 1 million degrees Celsius, matching temperatures found at the sun's core. This intense heat is generated by the nuclear fission reaction within the bomb.
1 million degrees.
The fireball expanded rapidly, reaching a diameter of 280 meters or 306 yards within just 1 second. The heat rays emitted from the fireball raised ground temperatures near the hypercenter to about 4,000 degrees Celsius, which is far beyond the melting point of many materials. This immense heat caused immediate devastating fires and contributed to the widespread destruction in the city. The radius of total destruction was about 1.6 kilometers, with fires spreading over 11 square kilometers. Affected by crosswinds, the bomb veered off its intended target, the Aoi Bridge, missing by about 240 meters, and detonated directly above the Shima Surgical Clinic instead.
Wow.
It unleashed energy equivalent to 15 kilotons of TNT.
And they didn't know what the fuck was about to hit them.
Or the simultaneous detonation of 33 million pounds of TNT. Enola Gay stayed over the target area for 2 minutes and was 16 kilometers or 10 miles away when the bomb detonated, and about 18.5 kilometers away before it felt the shock waves from the blast. Only Tibbets, Parsons, and Ferriby were aware of the weapon's true nature. The rest of the crew were simply warned to expect a blinding flash and were provided with black goggles. It was hard to believe what we saw, Tibbets later told reporters.
Wow.
Parsons described the event as...
They probably cried like, yo, what the fuck did we just do?
Tremendous and awe-inspiring. The men aboard with me gasped,
that was the small one, y'all.
My God.
No freaky.
People on the ground reported a pika, a brilliant flash of light, followed by a don, a loud, booming sound.
All those people lost their lives, man, over that.
As survivors emerged from the ruins, they gradually realized that the entire city had been struck simultaneously. The Tokyo control operator of the Japan Broadcasting Corporation noticed that the Hiroshima station had gone off the air. He tried to re-establish the connection through another telephone line, but that also failed. About 20 minutes later, the Tokyo Railroad Telegraph Center realized that the main line telegraph had stopped working just north of Hiroshima. Unofficial reports of a massive explosion came from small railway stations within 16 kilometers or 10 miles of the city.
Remember, they didn't have the internet then.
All these reports were transmitted to the headquarters of the Imperial Japanese Army General Staff. Military bases repeatedly tried to contact the Army control station in Hiroshima, but were met with complete silence. The General Staff were puzzled by this, as they knew that no large enemy raid had occurred and that no sizable store of explosives was in Hiroshima at that time.
And there ain't no amount of help you can send them that's going to put a patch on that, a Band-Aid on that injury right there.
A young officer was instructed to fly immediately to Hiroshima, to land, survey the damage, and return to Tokyo with reliable information for the staff. It was felt that nothing serious had taken place and that the explosion was just a rumor. The officer went to the airport and flew southwest. After flying for about 3 hours, while still nearly 160 kilometers from Hiroshima, he and his pilot saw a great cloud of smoke from the firestorm created by the bomb.
Wow.
After circling the city to survey the extent of the destruction, they landed south of Hiroshima. Tokyo only learned that the city had been destroyed by a new type of bomb from President Truman's announcement of the strike, 16 hours later. After
his speech was eerie.
Hiroshima bombing, Truman issued a statement announcing the use of the new weapon. He stated, "We may be grateful to Providence that the German atomic bomb project had failed and that the United States and its allies had spent $2 billion on the greatest scientific gamble in history, and won." Truman then warned Japan, "If they do not now accept our terms, they may expect a rain of ruin from the air, the like of which has never been seen on this earth." The atomic bombing of Hiroshima resulted in approximately 126,000 deaths, of which 20,000 were soldiers and 106,000 were civilians.
Wow.
Admiral Toyoda, the chief of the Naval General Staff, speculated that no more than 1 or 2 additional bombs could be readied, so they decided to endure the remaining attacks.
Oh, how stupid could they be? That next bomb changed history, man.
There would be more destruction, but the war would go on. This communication was intercepted by American magic code breakers. Since there was no indication of Japan surrendering, they decided to move forward with the plan to drop another atomic bomb.
Oh, y'all thought we only had one? That shit was a firecracker. We about to drop an ash can on you. All right, and this is part 2 of it, man. And double tap the screen. Let's get the lights up, man. We're talking about first. We started off with how did World War II start, right? And then we went into Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? So far they bombed Hiroshima with the small bomb, right? This is the part 2. This is the part 2. Japan didn't want to fucking surrender after that. So it was like, all right, cool.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
The world will note that the first atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, a military base.
On August 7th, 1945, the day after Hiroshima was destroyed, Dr. Yoshio Nishina, a leading Japanese physicist, and other atomic scientists arrived in Hiroshima to examine the damage. They confirmed that the city had been destroyed by an atomic bomb and reported back to the cabinet in Tokyo. Despite this, the cabinet decided to continue the war, a decision intercepted by American magic code breakers. Meanwhile, President Truman returned from the Potsdam Conference and spoke about the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, describing it as a military base. He later declared, "We shall continue to use it until we completely destroy Japan's power to make war." With no sign of Japan surrendering, the decision was made to attack another city. On August
a military base. That was a fucking whole city they leveled.
9th, 1945, at 3:47 a.m., the B-29 Superfortress boxcar, commanded by Major Charles Sweeney, took off from Tinian Island with the Fat Man plutonium bomb on board. The mission plan was almost identical to that of Hiroshima, with 2 B-29s, including the Enola Gay, flying an hour ahead as weather scouts. Boxcar was accompanied...
Wow, they used the actual one that bombed the first city as a scout.
...accompanied by 2 observation aircraft, the Great Artiste and Big Stink. The primary target was Kokura, known for its arsenal and military equipment production, with Nagasaki as the secondary.
They showed us their new stuff yesterday. Like, we can't mess with it. It's been determined that the shit is too fast. It's some next level shit, and Putin is basically flexing these weapons right now and telling people, yo, listen, y'all don't want us to unleash this shit.
Target. Sweeney took off with the bomb already armed, but with the electrical safety plugs still engaged. During the pre-flight inspection, the flight engineer told Sweeney that the aircraft had a malfunctioning fuel pump. Replacing the pump would take hours.
Oh, all right. Drop a link, Black Apple. I find that interesting.
And worse still, moving the fat.
Like carrots in the chat, if y'all ready to go down a rabbit hole. Nicholas says this is all distraction. Well, let me be clear with you, Nicholas. People come to this channel all the time and say it's distraction. You know, last week they was telling me that Diddy was
yesterday I had lots of dough. I got Biggie shot and nobody know. Shoot the club up, pass the gun to J-Lo.
Seems like they're doing a lot of distracting around here. But let me drop a link. I'll post it.
Man to another aircraft might take just as long and was dangerous as well.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just you drop it, and I'm gonna type it up into my thing, and then I'll repost the link for you. All right. Just put the link. Just tell me type it out.
Well, as the bomb was live. Therefore, Tibbets and Sweeney decided to continue the mission with Boxcar.
I got you, because that goes right down our alley, man. We like that type of shit right there. And if that's true, ooh.
Observers aboard the weather planes reported both targets, Kokura and Nagasaki, as clear. When Boxcar arrived at the rendezvous point over Yakushima Island, the great artiste joined shortly after. However, the Big Stink failed to make the rendezvous because it was flying much higher than it should have been and was not flying tight circles over Yakushima as agreed. Although Boxcar was ordered not to circle longer than 15 minutes, it waited for Big Stink for 40 minutes before leaving the rendezvous point. As commander of the aircraft, Sweeney decided to proceed to the primary target, Kokura. The delay at the rendezvous caused clouds and drifting smoke from fires started by a major firebombing raid on nearby Yahata the previous day to obscure Kokura. Additionally,
damn, they was working Japan the fuck out.
The Yahata steelworks intentionally burned coal tar to produce black smoke. The resulting conditions covered 70% of the area over Kokura, obscuring the aiming point. Over the next 50 minutes, 3 bomb runs were made, burning fuel and exposing the aircraft to heavy defenses, but the bombardier could not drop visually. By the 3rd bomb run, Japanese anti-aircraft fire was getting close. With fuel running
we going Nagasaki
low due to the failed fuel pump, Boxcar and the great artiste headed for their secondary target, Nagasaki. The term Kokura's luck emerged from this mission, highlighting how the city's obscured visibility due to weather and smoke spared it from the atomic bomb. The crew decided that if Nagasaki was obscured on arrival, they would carry the bomb to Okinawa and dispose of it in the ocean if necessary. At about 7:50 a.m. Japanese time, an air raid alert was sounded in Nagasaki, but the all-clear signal was given at 8:30, when only 2 B-29 superfortresses were sighted at 10:53 a.m. The Japanese assumed the planes were only on reconnaissance, and no further alarm was given. A few minutes later, at 11 a.m. Japanese time, the great artiste dropped instruments attached to 3 parachutes. These instruments also contained an unsigned letter to Professor Sagane, a physicist at the University of Tokyo, who had studied with 3 of the scientists responsible for the atomic bomb at the University of California, Berkeley. The letter urged him to tell the public about the dangers of these weapons of mass destruction.
No offense, but if you're paying more than $30 per month on car insurance, you're getting ripped off.
He got hostages in his back and basement.
At 11:01 a.m., as Boxcar approached Nagasaki, a lucky break in the clouds allowed the bombardier to visually sight the target as ordered. The Fat Man bomb, containing approximately 5 kilograms or 11 pounds of plutonium, was released over the city's industrial valley. It detonated 47 seconds later at 11:02 a.m., approximately 503 3 meters or 1,650 feet above the ground. The explosion occurred almost directly over a tennis court, halfway between 2 significant industrial targets: the Mitsubishi Steel and Arms Works in the south and the Nagasaki Arsenal in the north. This location was nearly 3 kilometers or 1.9 miles northwest of the planned hypocenter. The blast released energy equivalent to 21 kilotons of TNT. Due to the geographical layout of Nagasaki, with the Urakami Valley acting as a natural barrier, a major portion of the city was shielded from the full force of the explosion by the surrounding hills. Nonetheless, the devastation within the blast radius was immense. The initial fireball created by the explosion reached temperatures of several million degrees.
Those hills probably saved a million people.
Celsius, instantly incinerating everything within a 1-mile radius. The resulting shockwave and intense heat caused widespread fires and destruction, leveling buildings and infrastructure. The blast also produced lethal radiation, contributing to both immediate and long-term casualties. Boxcar and its support aircraft, the Great Artiste, quickly left the area after the bomb release. Meanwhile, Big Stink, which had been separated earlier, spotted the explosion from a distance of 160 kilometers or 100 miles away and flew over to observe the aftermath. The immediate death toll was estimated to be between 40,000 and 75,000 people, with tens of thousands more succumbing to injuries and radiation effects in the following months and years. After the Hiroshima bombing, it is estimated that as many as 200 people sought refuge in Nagasaki, only to endure another atomic explosion. These individuals
they left Hiroshima.
Were known as double survivors. 9 of them claimed to be in the blast zone in both cities. Tsutomu Yamaguchi was the first officially recognized survivor of both bombings. He was confirmed to be 3 kilometers or 1.9 miles from ground zero in Hiroshima on a business trip when the bomb detonated. He was seriously burnt on his left side and spent the night in Hiroshima. He arrived in his home city of Nagasaki on August 8th, the day before the bombing, and was exposed to residual radiation while searching for his relatives. Yamaguchi died in 2010 of stomach cancer. Only hours before Box took off from Tinian, Soviet Foreign Minister Molotov had informed Tokyo of the Soviet Union's unilateral abrogation of the Soviet-Japanese Neutrality Pact. At 2 minutes past midnight on August 9th, Tokyo time, Soviet infantry, armor, and air forces had launched the Manchurian Strategic Offensive Operation. 4 hours later, word reached Tokyo of the Soviet Union's official declaration of war.
Let's get the likes up. Double tap the screen. Damn, y'all ain't hitting the like button. Let's go. Let's get the likes up. Or go to the top right and hit the 3 dots. That's where the like button is at, y'all.
Crushing the last hope of the Japanese government for Soviet mediation. But senior leadership preparation.
All right, they bombed the shit out of it, man. You know what I mean? Salute to the United States. You know, I have a whole bunch of other stuff that I have pulled up here, but we're not gonna get to it. I do want to go down the rabbit hole real quick. Two times. Number one, I want y'all to see this shit. It pops up on my screen. I look at it, right? It says street food in Pakistan, right? I just want to know if y'all was thinking the same thing I'm thinking, but these some nasty motherfuckers right here. Look at this shit. I don't know. I'm real particular when it's time to eat. You know what I'm saying? If the spot looks nasty and shit, let's just look at this. Now, it do look like rats might live in there. They might even be feeding them and shit. And he's cracking these eggs fast as shit. Takes 2 of them. Oh man, you got skills. Yeah, you got some skills. All right. See the part. Okay. You got some shells in there. You're gonna take the shells out. A little salt in there. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got everything's good so far. Street meat. All right, let's go. This semi-clean thing. Oh God, let's just wipe it off a little bit, but keep everything. Keep all the residue still on the grill. Yeah, this brown stuff here. Let me just make these and put them in my hand like that. We're gonna cook them up anyway. They're gonna be hot. Just throw these all in my hand like that. Yeah, more. Yeah. Come on, guys. Yeah. So I'm just keep on putting more and more in my hand so I can't. I can't. I'm gonna. This is doodle. We about to grill some doodle. Ah, oil on the dirty ass grill with a shell on it. Now I'm gonna dip this in the eggs with my raw hands. Salmonella City. Let me do this for you. And they're gonna watch me do this and allow this to take place. And like literally eat it. Everybody, nobody has any objection to this because they are so hungry that they want this man to put his hands all on their eggs and their mystery meat mix. Fuck pigs in the blanket. This is shit in the blanket. Look at them. Oh my God. You better not wipe his hands on this. This guy's efficient. Look at that. He got the feline shirt on to match all the dirt that's on that grill. And everybody look like they on the run for something. Nobody's smiling. Normally people smiling when they about to get their food. They know that grilled rat. Look at them. That rag that rag got so much bacteria on it. Oh, this is the worst part, y'all. Watch this. Watch this guy here. He has no love. And he does this all day. He already does this like 12 hours straight. Just doing this. Now, who the fuck is eating this, man? Watch. Bag's got holes in it from the rats biting through him. This nasty motherfucker. Ain't gonna do it twice like it's a Burger King. A Big Mac. He's making Big Mac. This sand nigga. He's chopping that twice. Oh, he's not done putting his hands on all this shit. Watch this. He about to cough in his hands and everything. Watch this. My boy is bad. He a bad man. Watch this. Look at him taking all the bread and just smashing it over there with no, just funky ass hands. Look at that rag again. There you go. There you go. Now there go the eggs that he has with hands all in. Let me tell you something. Them funky ass fingers of his gives it extra flavor. Look at this. He's putting the food back in his hand again, y'all. Look. He's gonna dip that into his egg mixture. Salmonella City. Look. He gives no fucks. He's splashing it everywhere. Let me throw this on this side. Garbage next to him. A fucking stray dog behind him. This guy here. No, man. I'm just not fond of other people. What I mean by other people, it's anybody. That's not us. He got his hands on all of this. Oh no, he just touched the egg doodle mixture. Yeah, he took like pate doodle with his raw hands, just dipped it inside eggs. Man, this boy, and he's not even that fast. All this shit he did already, you think somebody be eating by now. It's just a lot going on. And then that guy that's back there taking orders, look at him, he's taking orders. He's taking orders. What you want? A Pepsi? All right, got you. Sprite for the kid? All right, cool. I'm waiting for him to just hog spit on the fucking grill. This is a nasty ass nigga. Nasty ass dude. Trying to make it taste like Burger King. Let me see what else he do. What he just pulling bread out of his pocket, out of his ass. And then he has to push it. You see how he has to really press his hands into it? Like, he got to really put his fingerprints on that bitch. Look how they're all indented. They're all indented because he's sticking his funky ass fingers in it. Now, I don't want none of this food, bro. Fast food. What did he just put on all that stuff? Oh, I know he's not just putting more white stuff. Oh, God. Let me just squeeze this sour cream on everything. Let me see how. 4, 8, 12, 16, 24. 24 A-Rab Big Macs. Feel like his breath stink. You might need Tic Tac Big Macs. Prescription search, you know? Prescription gum after you eat this shit. Where's onions? Oh, I knew that was going to happen soon. What is his raw hands going on? No, bro, this is not the environment for this shit. And they just don't see something wrong with this. I guess it gives it extra flavor. Word, Nicholas. What are we doing? Somebody's gonna get sick eating this shit. God. Hey, double tap the screen, right? To get the lights up. Type 1s in the chat if this is a nasty motherfucker, or am I just going too far, Sharonda? Type 1s if he's a nasty ass motherfucker right here. With bad intentions. He's putting this shit on the grill now. The remainder of the germs. There's so much bacteria on that shit. What's he doing? See, keep telling you, keep putting his hands in the eggs. He's addicted to this shit. I think he's just addicted to this shit. Gotta respect him, he hustling, right? Well, I would just be better if he had gloves on or something, man. Look at him, he just keep touching the food, bro. Oh, savage ass. Nasty motherfucker. I would say I hate these people, but I really don't. And then they're gonna hit my channel for saying I hate these people. They like, who's these people? You people. You know what I'm saying? You people. We got some more rabbit hole real quick. You know what I'm saying? Got 11 minutes over here. Okay, let me shock somebody into some shit here. Oh, this, I wouldn't even really say this is rabbit hole, but it's niggerish. That's rabbit hole. Get some carrots and chat. That's rabbit hole. That's rabbit hole. Nigga rich can be, you know, rabbit hole. All right, let's go down the rabbit hole, man. There's a bunch of niggas with dreads. Then there's a white boy on the other side. I'm gonna hit the like button. This is Rap Cartel video. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. It says no jumpers, most hated video. This is going to keep people around. Listen to this. Now this kid is G checking Adam.
She's around with me like that, calling me handsome and all this.
And
It's not.
Like, and then another thing, you on here playing with folks' mama, like Duck Mama, bro.
Like, he's trying to G check Adam for, you know, disrespecting FBG Duck's mom.
I don't give a how much you playing. Don't play with folks. OG.
Yeah, this is a Chi-Town gangster. They call him. He's a rapper. I don't know his name.
I think that was a mutual thing. Her and I had this little flirtatious joke thing going on. I mean, have you seen the interview? She's around with me like that, calling me handsome and all this shit too. It's not just like you remember that day? We could not believe the way she was flirting with me.
At the end of the day, another thing, you play with Wooski, bro. Like, just hear me out.
We talk.
I don't care if y'all talk. That ain't that. I got a personal problem with it because it's the principle of you playing with him about him getting shot in the head. That ain't no joke.
Get into it all type of game.
But you don't respect Wooski?
Nah, I don't really know dude like that. So like, you know, that's a whole different. He retired, you know, for him. So, you know,
I've been through some.
Yeah, King Day for him. Like, I ain't into no special. Yeah.
Adam got disrespectful and let Ruger know that Wooski should have thought twice before running his mouth. But Ruger told Adam to stop dragging on the situation if he wasn't trying to fight.
This shit goes left fast.
For sure, Wooski should have thought about that before he started talking.
Mallory, salute
to me, because when you start,
man, we in the rabbit hole. The boss, I guess the heat kills some of the bacteria, but I'll still be afraid to eat it. Yeah, when I went to chef school, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I went to robbery school too, and in chef school it said never trust the niggas that graduated from robbery school. I was always fucked up like that. You know what I'm saying? Whole long story, but yeah, it's okay if it's cooked at a certain heat. I just don't want to see it.
Doing battle in hip hop,
chefs do that. They play with the food with their raw hands. That's just how it is. But I be thinking them same chefs be sticking their fingers in girls' coochies, jerking off, hawk spitting, you know, covering their mouth when they cough. I think about the worst shit when I think about somebody. And then the last thing I want to see is a piece of hair in my food, something like that. Oh, hell no. I'll never support you again.
You're gonna use whatever you got about you to talk shit. He did.
Hell yeah, Tony Law, we did. I'm Low, we did it.
He started with me, so I mentioned something like that.
You went on an interview with Cairo and brought up Wooski.
Right, in a very light way, like barely. The idea that deserved the reaction that he then gave me is fucking insane.
You basically recited lyrics that you knew.
All right, here we go. We got a white boy from California playing around with street niggas from Chicago. He don't understand that this shit could get him hurt in real life.
It was really serious, bro. That like behind the situation.
I think you're taking different situations and combining them together, though, because that was all about Sean Cotton saying that he didn't think Cairo had Wooski vibes.
Listen, when you do that,
they went in there all black.
You place yourself in street.
Right.
What I'm telling you, at the end of the day, if I ask you that type of shit, you ain't really willing to even just fight. Don't. Stop egging it on, gang. Like, if you ain't literally just willing to fight.
Why do you think that? Why do I need to be on board with fighting? Like, I've never said I was a boxer. I'm not. Why do I need to be a boxer all of a sudden?
Adam was tripping. Guard the brand in the building, y'all. Yeah, Adam was. He was wholesale tripping. But a lot of these niggas is tripping, playing with street politics and shit, and then be surprised at the reaction that they get for this type of shit. The reward is crazy.
You said Ruger a bitch, acting like a bitch. Them fighting words to me. We don't play about that shit.
Ruger then started schooling Adam about the street code, but Adam didn't care.
And why Adam is so scared of a fair fight, man? If any regular dude would, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, lip boxer. Yeah, anybody will fucking fight another, man. You know what I'm saying? Like any, you know, like even the LGBT punk niggas who do that shit. Transvestites will give you a good fight.
Ruger snapped, telling him if he didn't want to scrap, then shut up. Adam fired back, saying he could have told him.
First time I've ever seen Adam take up for his own self.
Shut up on his own podcast. That's when Ruger asked Remo what would happen.
I finally found it. I've been searching for the perfect head shaver for over a decade now. The grooming.
What would happen if he popped Adam in the mouth, joking that Adam would just try to sue. Adam jumped in like, why would I sue when I got more money than you?
Why would you sue? I mean, don't you think Tasha K had less money than what's her name? Cardi B? Cardi B sued her and she has less money, so that makes no sense.
Just speaking on street shit get you up. I'm telling you that.
I'm just gonna let you know I'm good with the vague threats.
You ain't.
Yes.
You ain't. You
Unless you're gonna do something,
you wouldn't.
I don't want to hear it.
Do you want to fight?
No.
I ain't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's it. Unless you want to fight,
I
don't want to hear
something.
You wouldn't.
I don't want to hear it.
Do you want to fight?
I don't want to hear it. Hey, yo, I need that for my show. Unless you're gonna do something, I don't want to hear it. I need that right now. Let me go get a screenshot of that so I can add that to my show right now. Let me show y'all how fast I work real quick. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I like that. Salute to that nigga. No jumper, most heated interviews. Watch how fast I work. No jumper, you know, y'all can leave when you're ready, but you know what I'm saying? No jumper, most heated interviews. 3:15.
You ain't.
Yes.
You ain't. You
Unless you're going to do something,
you wouldn't.
I don't want to hear it.
Do you want to fight?
No.
I ain't shut the fuck up.
Then why are you on the
Stop
podcast?
No.
You don't get to.
You want some old man? No. Oh, man.
Adam fired back, saying he could have told him to shut up on his own podcast. That's when Ruger asked Remo what would happen if he popped Adam in the mouth, joking that Adam would just try to sue. Adam jumped in like, why would I sue when I got more money than you?
Some real shit. Just speaking on street shit get you up. I'm telling you that.
I'm just going to let you know I'm good with the vague threats.
You ain't.
Yes.
You ain't. You
Unless you're going to do something,
you wouldn't.
I don't want to hear it.
Do you want to fight?
No.
I ain't shut the fuck up.
Then why are you on the
Stop
podcast?
talking. Stop talking.
You don't get to tell me to shut the fuck up on my podcast.
If I was the last out,
that you were very upset. I told you you weren't invited on this podcast.
Remo,
you were very upset.
I'm talking to Remo now. Hey, listen.
You're talking to me on my podcast.
You hit him in
Go to the black man next to you.
His mouth. Say I hit him in his mouth. What he gonna do?
What do you think I'm gonna do?
He gonna try to sue. He gonna be one of them soft ass.
How people. Am I gonna sue you when I got way more money than you?
Things got crazy. And to calm the situation.
Yeah.
Things got crazy midway through the show, and Adam's security stepped in to calm the situation, telling Ruger he's gonna have to leave if he don't chill out. Ruger let everybody know that he didn't care about the show. Adam then asked why he begged to come, and that's when Ruger made it known that he came to put hands on Adam and asked Adam to square up.
Yeah.
Listen,
you're gonna have to leave if you want to keep talking because nobody is interested in hearing you talk like that.
You want a motherfucker to leave because he's scared.
You gotta do something if you want me to take you serious.
Let's bring it back in a little bit.
Let me talk to you.
For sure.
You're gonna have to be polite if you want to stay on this podcast.
Listen,
can we talk
about this podcast?
Hold on.
And why'd you beg to come on here?
To be honest, I really wanted to come here and beat your ass.
Yeah, but you're not.
You want to go box? Let's go catch our face.
Man,
again, I don't want to box.
Listen.
Adam told Ruger he doesn't settle beef by boxing with Caveman, straight up disrespecting him. Ruger got heated, calling Adam racist, but Adam shot back saying he was just describing his brain. Ruger went off calling him a weirdo, but Adam kept telling him to leave.
Don't handle it by doing boxing matches with cavemen who want to act tough instead of doing a podcast.
Now he racist.
I'm not a boxer.
Now his racistness coming out.
And now you're going to play the race card.
Talking about cavemen. You racist, man.
I'm describing your brain.
You weird.
Not your race.
You weird.
I'm going to ask you to leave.
That's cool. I'll leave. But I'm telling you, you a bitch.
And moments after the show, Adam went live bashing Ruger for being in his feelings.
And I got Ruger.
Let me just let y'all know, Adam like watching his wife getting dug out by big black dudes, man. This is no allegedly.
Throwing a little bitch fit. Sorry, I just brushed my teeth. Throwing a little bitch fit. Not that he's a bitch, but throwing a fit because I did an interview with him and I actually asked him about the Dirk said about him in the academics interview, and I asked him about the billionaire black beef, and now he's crying me a river, acting like it was so inappropriate. Bro, Dirk just did a 3-hour academics interview and answered every single question about beef like a grown-up. He just actually answered the questions. Now you over here having your fucking period because I actually asked you about a couple of different interview clips that were viral that mentioned you. The rest of the interview was not about that stuff, and you're totally misrepresenting it. Yeah, bro, just grow the fuck up. Why'd you come do an interview if you were going to just complain about it afterwards?
But luckily, Ruger didn't end up hurting Adam. Because the way Adam disrespected his homies, things could have gone bad. Like in this next interview, when 16 Shot him got pissed off at Flacco for playing both sides, since he was cool with Bandman Kevo, one of 16 Shot him's ops.
Our fault though, right? It's like you with me, then you on some police too. How is that our fault though? Because you said, right? What you mean? How's your fault? You standing behind this? You calling me a clout chaser and you standing behind this? I'm showing you this shit. No, right? I don't want you to be on my side, bro. But stop, bro. Stop. I think you're a clout chaser. Like you riding the game.
16 then called Kevo to piss him off, since Flacco was meat riding Bandman Kevo, and Kevo is the person 16 has beef with. 16 tells Flacco to stop playing with him before he smacks him, and that's when things got crazy.
Damn, I remember when he spit on Flacco on this shit.
Man, shut up! I just said let the man talk. What'd you say, Kevo? bro, that's a bro. Do it.
Hey, no.
Flacco, big boy.
Watch out, we ain't doing that here. Watch out.
Thankfully, security was there, because things could have gone way worse. But this next interview with Brick Baby got wild.
Now you spit on me, nigga. I'm taking your fucking tongue out your mouth. I don't care. The dude that try to help you, he gonna get it too.
After a dancer got drunk and started playing too much.
Body come out with some color.
Ain't no roast beef on this side.
I'm the dead.
Hey, west side.
Did that get on your pants?
Oh my God.
That be on camera, bitch.
I ain't gang. I'm gang.
That's so disrespectful.
I'm not gang. I'm gang. Big difference though, bitch. I'm gonna keep it all the way at thou wow with you. You might want to chill just a little bit, okay?
Things were chill until she knocked over a drink on Brick and then asked for another cup like it was a joke. And that's when this happened.
Bit okay? Reevaluate your little attitude news situation and get right. You don't need nothing else to drink right now.
You need water.
You need to chill. You got some more to drink after this.
Water and Jesus. Fucked up part is I'm not even.
I'm finna give her something to drink.
I'm a Christian. No. If y'all shout out to God. Shout out to Jesus Christ.
I know you will.
Oh man.
Okay.
Whoa, she done lost her mind.
You just
All right.
Take it. You want it? Take it. I just told you, stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. I'm the dead homie. Stop playing with me.
Right before the interview was done, she pulled out her phone and snapped a pic, then tried to swing a bottle at Brick.
Go get your makeup together and come back.
It's already together. I'm not gonna go off. Who is that? Minister? How do you do?
And good thing security jumped in and grabbed her before Brick crashed out. Because in this next interview with no jumper, Brick flipped out over a conversation that got leaked from the show.
I'm trying to figure out why I'm still running content on a conversation that got leaked from this and keep on trying to keep on digging some shit up out my board. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Dead homies, I don't give a fuck about nothing else.
And not even halfway through the interview, he made it be known that whoever leaked the conversation.
Dead homies on dead homies. I told you I'm fast, right?
Unless you're gonna do something,
you wouldn't.
I don't want to hear. Unless you're gonna do something,
you wouldn't.
I don't want to hear.
I'm quick. Watch it.
Unless you're gonna do. Unless you're gonna do something,
you wouldn't.
I don't want to hear it.
And keep speaking on his name, can get it.
It don't matter, whatever it is. But the energy that, from now on, keep on running content on my name. I'm putting Kill Squad in the street. On 6-0. Y'all forgot I had
not Kill Squad.
on 6-0. Go look up what shit he worth.
Pull up, salute.
Dead homies, no. Fuck all that.
Why doesn't everyone between 45?
Don't give him too much. Don't give him too much.
No, nigga, just ran content 3 days in a row. Hey, mama, dead homies and their kids. 6-0.
Since whoever posted it was playing it tough on camera and not trying to handle the situation in the streets.
SC, stop playing with me.
Anyway, man, anytime they start clapping their hands like that, I know ain't shit gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna get with y'all later on, man. I gotta get up out of here, man. Mac Me ain't true story. All stories ain't true, but this one is. Subscribe to the other channel. Double tap the screen. Get the likes up before you leave up out of this joint. You know what I'm saying? 81% of the people said is the Biden administration is indeed playing with fire with the shit that they're doing with these war games. You know, playing with the American people, playing with the world. This war shit don't look pretty at all. You know what I'm saying? So let's pray for the best and expect the worst. All right, and be prepared no matter what. True story. All right, go.